Hello students, in this class I'm going to revise the first chapter, that is number system. So in this chapter first mainly actually we are going to deal with what are numbers actually, and particularly about what rational and irrational numbers. So initially I have given a diagram for you. Okay, so the very important diagram is actually what a natural number. So after that I'm going to write on the second circle. So this is actually represents what whole number. So after that I'm going to write on one more circle. So this is actually what representation of I or z means integers. After that I'm going to write on one more circle, and this is actually this represents what q rational numbers, and one more set is there q dash. This is called as what irrational number, because I'm going to write on this one as a separate, because rational and irrational are actually what different numbers. If you combine these this collection means both rational and irrational, it actually forms actually what real numbers. Okay, so you can draw so many conclusion from here. So now look at here, natural lies inside the whole numbers. That's why all naturals are whole numbers. Okay, all whole numbers are integers, all integers are rational. Okay, all the rationals are real, all the irrationals are also real, but no rational is irrational, no irrational is rational, because there is no intersection between these two sets. Okay, this is separate. Okay, so this collection is separate and this collection is separate. There will be a relation among n, w, z and q only. Okay, so all the naturals are rational, it's also right, all the naturals are integer, because natural lies within the integer. ಸೊ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಈಗ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ರಾಷನಲ್ ನ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ಸ್ ರಾಷನಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ, ಈ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಆಲ್ ದ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಬಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ natural. It is wrong. Okay, because here integer is not lying inside the natural number. Suppose if it happens like this, okay, z, actually this is wrong. Okay, but only for clarification purpose I'm going to show for you like this. If it is like that, then you can say all integers are natural, but it is not like here. So that's why all the integers are natural is wrong, but all the naturals are integer is right. Okay, like that. By this diagram you can understand the relationship between the collections, that is natural, whole, integer and rational, and this is irrational number. So the very first thing you need to understand is what are rational numbers and irrational numbers. So the first one is I'm going to write on here rational number. Okay, and here irrational number. So the only difference between these two is you can express this number in the format of p by q, where p comma q are integers. P and q are actually what integers, and q should not be equal to 0. Okay, should not be equal to 0. I told for you what is the reason why it should not be equal to 0 in the class itself. And p and q should be what integer. You can take any integers in the place of p and q. Integer means what? So integers means it is actually what is that 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 plus or minus 3 and so on. These are all integer. You can take any integer, whatever it may be, positive, negative, 0, whatever it may be. If I take in the place of p, if I take 1, in the place of q, if I take what, minus 3, okay, 1 by minus 3, rational number. Okay, in the same sense you can take a 2 by 7, okay, 10 by 1, and then minus 3 by minus 7, like this. Okay, these are all actually what rational numbers. And some more numbers are there, those numbers cannot be expressed in p by q format. Okay, remember the numbers which cannot be expressed in the format of p by q, they are actually called as what, irrational. So they cannot be expressed means we can't write any irrational number like this, because this is actually what p by q format. Here irrational cannot be represented in the format of p by q means you can't write the irrational number in this format, because it is a p by q format. If it is possible to write like this, it will become rational. That's why. So that's why we are going to write on the examples like this, root 2. root 3, root 5, and so on. Okay, so I told for you square root of prime number is always irrational number. Remember, square root of prime number is always irrational number. And also very well known example is pi. Okay, it is also an example of what? Irrational number. Very important example, pi and root 2, root 3, root 5. These are all actually what? Examples of irrational number. And e is also an example of irrational number. And you will study this one in the higher studies. Actually, just forget about this one. Just remember pi, root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7, root 11, root 13, root 19. Okay, square root of prime number. You can write down any prime number within the root, it will become what? Irrational number. Remember this one. So this is about the very important terminology, because you are very well known about natural, whole, and integers. Okay, in the previous classes, maybe in the class 8th and 7th, you have studied more about these type of numbers. But in this class we are going to study majorly what? Q and q dash. Q dash means irrational, q means what? Rational numbers. Okay, and this is actually the difference between rational and irrational. Remember, can be written in the form of p by q, cannot be written in the form of p by q. Okay, and in the first topic we have you have come across the problems like this. Okay, so finding the rational numbers between two given numbers. Okay, let us take an example of this one. Between a 3 and 4. Okay, between 3 and 4, suppose he asked, suppose if he asked to find out 6 rationals. Okay, so this is an question from the exercise itself. Between 3 and 4, you need to find out what? Rational numbers. How many? 6. They should be in this format, p by q format. Okay, for this what we have to do, I told for you how many? 6 rationals actually. 6 plus 1, it will become how much? 7. Okay, so then first you need to write on the first number 3. Okay, then is equal to 3 into, so 7 by 7. Why 7? Here we got 7, that's why multiply and divide by 7. So now 7 into 3, it will become 21, denominator 7. For the same thing 4 also. 4 into 7 by 7. Okay, so this is because of this one. So 7 fours are 28 divided by 7. So now here 3 is equal to what? 21 by 7. Even if you divide 21 by 7, you will get 3 actually. And here 4 is equal to 28 by 7. Okay, 28 by 7, which is equal to what? 4. So now look at here. You need to write on the denominators as it is. Okay, as it is. And you need to increase the numerator. 21 is there, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, divided by 7, divided by 7, divided by 7. Okay, definitely these numbers, okay, apart from 28 by 7 and 21 by 7, all these numbers definitely lies between 3 and 4. You can calculate this one. Okay, if you take the decimal expansion, it will become very clear for you. Now look at here, first, second, third, fourth, 5, 6. Okay, so that's why we have found out 6 rationals between the given two numbers. They may be integers, sometimes they may be fractional numbers, means rational number also, but here they are actually integer. In this way I have solved two, or I think three more question or two more question about this one, and you need to look at the remaining questions. Under this topic, real numbers and their decimal expansion. So this is very important topic actually. Here one question will be appeared in your examination and also in your upcoming test also. Real numbers and their decimal expansion. In this topic, actually we are going to discuss what? Decimal expansion of real numbers. Okay, I think I told for you in the class itself regarding the decimal expansion of what? Real numbers. Okay, in case of real numbers, there will be three different types of decimal expansion. Okay, so first try to understand the nature of decimal expansion. So the first one is actually what? Terminating one. Okay, so in case of decimal expansion, it may be terminating, and second one is actually what? Non-terminating. Okay, non-terminating, non-terminating but recurring. Okay, very important this one terminology, recurring. And the fourth one is sorry, third one is non-terminating, 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 non-recurring. Okay, so only three possibilities are there: terminating, non-terminating, but recurring. Okay, so non-terminating, non-recurring. Okay, I will give example for each of them. Terminating means if you get the number like this, decimal expansion 1.24, just like this. Okay, so there will be no digit after 4. Okay, and I have written no dots after 4 actually. Okay, so this type of decimal expansion are actually what terminating. In the same sense, 6.176. Okay, whatever may be the number of digits after the decimal point or whatever it may be, but it should be terminating. Okay, there should be the last digit. But here, look at here, non-terminating recurring means 1.333 and so on. Okay, I have written dots at the end means it is never ending. That's why it is actually what non-terminating. Recurring means what? Here 3 goes on repetition. So if it occurs like this, it is called as what? Recurring. Okay, here only one digit goes on repetition. Now look at here, 2.717171 and so on. Here two digits goes on repetition, 717171. Okay, so this is called as actually what? Repeating string. Okay, repeating string may contain any number of digits, but it must contain finite number of digits. Okay, this is called as what? Repeating string. In the same sense, if I take I think if you consider the decimal expansion of 1 by 7, I think what is actually the decimal expansion of this one, which is equal to 142, I think 857, 142 857, 142 857 and so on. Okay, so how many digits are present here? 142 857, 6 digits are present in the repeating string. Okay, so these type of decimal expansion are actually called as what? Non-terminating recurring. And the last one is non-terminating non-recurring means it's actually actually after the decimal expansion it will never terminate, but actually it happens. So now if you take the decimal expansion of the number by 3.142 and so on, so here actually you can't identify the repeating string, remember. Okay, we can't identify the repeating string, so that's why this is actually non-terminating non-recurring decimal expansion. Okay, remember this one. And also if you take the decimal expansion of the number root 2, it will be around 1.41 something. Okay, here also there will no recurring, you can't identify the recurring. And once one more thing is it will never terminate. Okay, so that's why non-terminating, never terminating means non-terminating. You can't identify the repeating string means it is non-recurring also. So this type of decimal expansion are also present. Okay, like this or like this. Okay, if the decimal expansion of a number is of this type, either terminating or non-terminating, this number is actually called as what? Rational. Okay, rational number. And if a number having a decimal expansion which is non-terminating non-recurring means it is actually called as what? Irrational number. Okay, I told for you this one in the class itself. Okay, rational. So this is rational. Non-terminating or non-terminating recurring means it is a rational number. If it is having non-terminating non-recurring decimal expansion, then it is actually what? Irrational number. And this is one more definition for rational and irrational number: a number which is in the format of p by q is rational, or else the number which is having the decimal expansion which is terminating non-terminating non-recurring. Okay, so non-terminating recurring, it is also called as what? Rational. A number which is not in, which cannot be written in the form of p by q is called as irrational, or else the number whose decimal expansion is a non-terminating non-recurring, it is also what? Irrational number. Okay, so just remember this one. And here we are going to deal with terminating or non-terminating recurring decimal expansion in this topic. So in this the exercise belongs to this topic actually 1.3. You will look at the questions which is actually conversion from when it is given in the format of p by q. You need to convert that one into what? Decimal format. Okay, how to convert this one? Just go through the division. Okay, if you divide p by q, then it will get converted to decimal format. It's very easy. Okay, division process is very simple. and I think you can convert that one. But the very important thing is, very important type of problem is conversion of decimal number, okay, decimal to p by q format. Okay, you can identify these type of problems actually in the third question in the exercise 1.3, the question number 3, and also some questions are discussed in your textbook also. I told for you, look at the example question, okay, every time. So the example number 7, okay, example number 8 and example number 9 are also very important for the point of examination. Remember, one question will definitely appear under this heading, decimal expansion, decimal to p by q format. Just I will show a question for you to recall the procedure. I'm going to take, consider the number 0.47 bar. Okay, I think you know this one, bar representation. So what is actually 0.47 bar means? It is actually 0.4777 and so on, like this. Okay, so now initially I'm going to denote this one like this. X is equal to 0.4777 and so on. Okay, so now you need to identify how many digits are present in the repeating string. Repeating string contain how many digits? Okay, now look at here. 4 is not involved in the repeating string. If bar is present only for 7 means 7 is the repeating string. Repeating string contain how many digits? 1 digits. Then you need to multiply both side by 10 for this one. If the repeating string contain 2 digits, you need to multiply by 100. If it contains 3 digits, then you need to multiply by 1000. Okay, so I told for you for all these three cases in the classes. Actually, just it is related to this case. Okay, repeating string contain only 1 digit. So on multiplication by 10, it will become 10x. If you multiply 10 for this one, it will become 4.777 and so on. And then in the left hand side, write on as it is. And I told for you, you need to split up this one, 4.777 and so on. So how to split this one? You need to split like this. Okay, so for this one, okay, I'm going to write on like this. Okay, first you need to split up like this. It should be like, so it should be like this. I told for you, plus some number, plus it should be equal to x. Actually, x means what? It is 0.4777 and so on. Okay, so how can you express here? It is actually 4.3. If you write on like this, then only it will be possible. 4.3 plus 0.4777 means you need to, if you add these two numbers, you will get this one like this. So now here 0.4777 means you can denote this one like x actually. Okay, from here. So that's why 10x is equal to 4.3 plus x, and if you shift x towards the left side, it will become 10x minus x is equal to 4.3. 10x minus x means it will become 9x is equal to 4.3, and x is equal to what? 4.3 divided by 9. So but remember, it should not be a fraction, because you are converting this one into what? P by q format means p and q should be what? Integers. Remember, they should be integers. If they are fraction, you need to convert that one into what? Integer format. How to convert this one? Just if you multiply and divide by 10, it will get converted to what? Integer format. 4.3 into 10 means it will become 43, and then 10 into 9 it will become 90. So that's why this is actually what? P by q format of this number. Okay, so just remember, this is very important question, very important type, and this type you will definitely you will definitely get one question in the next upcoming test. Okay, so look at the question number 3. Okay, question number 3 of the exercise what 1.3, and also some example question. I told for you example, actually it's given example uh, 7. Okay, from example 7, example 8, and then example 9. Okay, so here three sub questions are there. Here three sub questions are there. Totally it is of 6 question. Okay, among the 6, one question will definitely appear in the upcoming test.